Today, I welcome you to this MOOC course on heritage tourism. And the topic that we are going to discuss today is heritage corridors and circuits. Religious tourism involves journeys to holy sites for spiritual fulfillment, worship, or commemoration across faiths. Buddhist pilgrims travel to Lumbini, Bodh Gaya, and Sarnath, while Hindus circumambulate Tibet's Mount Kailasha. These draw diverse motivations from devotion to cultural exchange, boosting local economies through hospitality and crafts. India hosts vast religious tourism, and with over 60% domestic trips or pilgrimages related to religious tourism itself, and generating $59 billion by 2028 and 140 million jobs. Sites like Tirupati, Vaishno Devi, and Ayodhya's Ram Mandir draw lakhs daily, fueling the GDP via hospitality and transport. Some major circuits include the Golden Circuit, that is Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, the Ramayana Circuit, which is Ayodhya to Lanka sites, and Buddha Circuit, Bodh Gaya, Sarnath, Kushinagar. India has long been recognized as one of the world's foremost destinations for religious and spiritual tourism. With its ancient civilization, sacred landscapes, pilgrimage traditions, and religious diversity, the country offers unparalleled opportunities for faith based travel. From the snow clad Himalayan shrines to coastal temples, from Buddhist stupas to Sufi dargahs, India's sacred geography reflects centuries of spiritual practice, cultural continuity, and collective memory. Religious tourism in India is not a new phenomenon. Pilgrimage routes such as the Char Dham Yatra, Kumbh Melas, and journeys to sites like Varanasi, Rameshwaram, Ajmer Sharif, and Amritsar have existed for centuries. However, the contemporary scale and organization of religious tourism reflect a shift in policy orientation. In recent decades, the government of India has increasingly acknowledged the economic, cultural, and integrative potential of religious tourism, launching ambitious initiatives to regenerate pilgrimage destinations, improve infrastructure, and promote India's spiritual heritage on both national and global platform. The Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, has placed religious and spiritual tourism at the center of its development strategy, recognizing it as a powerful driver of regional development, employment generation, cultural preservation, and national integration. Religious tourism is a vibrant intersection of spirituality and travel which draws millions to sacred sites worldwide, fostering cultural exchange while posing preservation challenges. In India, where faith permeates daily life, this phenomena gains momentum through heritage corridors and circuits, which are strategically linked networks of historical and religious landmarks. Heritage corridors are linear spatial systems that integrate cultural heritage conservation with tourism development and regional planning. The concept of corridors originated in landscape ecology, which over time expanded beyond ecology into fields such as transportation, tourism, heritage preservation, and aesthetics. In the context of World Heritage Conservation, heritage corridors emphasize the creation of continuous and interconnected heritage spaces that often cross administrative, regional, and even national boundaries. These corridors are based on principles of spatial integration, interregional cooperation, and shared cultural value. Related concepts include linear cultural heritage, cultural roots, and cultural thematic roots, all of which highlight movement, connectivity, and historical continuity rather than isolated heritage sites. Heritage corridors are encouraged to combine conservation with tourism development as this integration supports sustainable regional economic growth while also ensuring the long term protection of cultural assets. By linking multiple heritage sites into a unified framework, corridors enable coordinated management, interpretation, and promotion of heritage resources. At the regional level, heritage corridors functions as cultural tourism networks. They strengthen linkages between destinations, encourage collaboration among stakeholders, and enhance tourists' engagement with diverse cultural heritage. At the same time, they contribute to building a strong regional cultural identity and international reputation, making heritage corridors an effective tool for both cultural preservation and tourism led development. Heritage corridors, particularly temple corridors in Indian urban context, acts as living links between the past and the present, preserving architectural traditions, historical continuities, and spiritual practices. They serve as cultural institutions that reflect and uphold local beliefs, rituals, and community memory. Heritage circuits, for example, regional tourism circuit like the Buddhist circuits, they strengthened spatial linkages between sites with shared historical, religious, or cultural themes, offering integrated cultural experiences and boosting longer, more meaningful visit or engagement. Heritage corridors connect sites thematically or geographically, enhancing accessibility and narrative depth. The Ramayana circuit, for instance, traces Lord Rama's epic journey across 9 states, from Ayodhya's Ram Janmabhoomi to Sri Lanka's ancient caves. Pilgrims traverse Nasik's Godavari Ghats, linked by improved roads, trains, and themed signage, turning a mythical odyssey into a tangible trail. Similarly, the Buddha circuit spans Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, uniting Bodh Gaya's enlightenment tree with Sarnath's Deer Park and Kushinagar's Mahaparinirvana Stupa. These corridors not only amplify spiritual immersion but also revive local crafts like Madhubani paintings in Bihar, integrating artisans into tourism value chains. Ultimately, religious tourism via heritage corridors revitalize India's pluralistic tapestry, balancing devotion with development. By weaving faith into circuits, these pathways ensure sacred stories' endurance, inviting the world to walk through these ancient paths. Religious tourism draws millions to sacred sites worldwide, while heritage corridors and circuits link these destinations for enhanced pilgrim experience. In India, government initiatives like PRASHAD, and Swadesh Darshan have amplified this by developing interconnected routes. The government's approach combines heritage conservation, infrastructure development, tourism promotion, and community participation. Rather than treating pilgrimage sites as isolated monuments, recent initiatives conceptualize them as a part of thematic circuits and heritage corridors, enabling a more holistic and sustainable tourism experience. This shift marks a departure from earlier fragmented development efforts towards integrated planning that connects faith, history, culture, and economy. Launched in 2014-15, the Swadesh Darshan scheme represents one of the most ambitious tourism initiatives undertaken by the Government of India. Its primary objective is to develop thematic tourism circuits across the country, focusing on religious, spiritual, cultural, and heritage destinations. The scheme emphasizes holistic development, addressing issues of accessibility, accommodation, sanitation, interpretation, and visitor amenities. Under the Swadesh Darshan scheme, pilgrimage sites are no longer viewed as standalone attractions. Instead, they are linked through carefully planned circuits that reflect shared religious narratives, historical themes, or cultural traditions. This approach not only enhances the tourist experience but also encourages longer stays, greater expenditure, and more balanced regional development. Importantly, the scheme seeks to reduce pressure on individual sites by distributing tourist flows across multiple destinations within a circuit. Complementing the Swadesh Darshan scheme is the Prashad scheme. The full form of PRASHAD is Pilgrimage Regeneration and Spiritual Heritage Augmentation Drive. This scheme focuses specifically on improving infrastructure and facilities at major pilgrimage centers. Unlike circuit based development, Prashad adopts a site-centric approach, targeting well-established religious destinations that attract large numbers of pilgrims. Under Prasad, projects include the improvements of sanitation, provision of drinking water, development of access, roads, crowd management systems, illumination and heritage conservation. Prominent sites such as Kedarnath, Varanasi, the Golden Temple of Amritsar, Sri Sailam, Rameshwaram, and Ajmer Sharif Dargah have benefited significantly from this initiative. The scheme aims not only to enhance pilgrim comfort but also to ensure that development respects the sacred character and historical integrity of the sites. The other scheme that we can focus on now is the Dekho Apna Desh, which encourages domestic spiritual travel. The Dekho Apna Desh campaign plays a very crucial role in promoting religious tourism among Indian citizens. By encouraging domestic travel, the campaign highlights lesser known temples, pilgrimage routes, and cultural landmarks, thereby decentralizing tourism and spreading its benefits to undervisited regions. Partnerships with IRCTC and state tourism boards have made religious travel more affordable and accessible, particularly for middle and lower income pilgrims. Indian Railways introduced 6 pilgrim special tourist train packages from 25th October 2014 to promote rail tourism and also provide affordable travel options, particularly for pilgrims. Announced in the railway budget of 2014-15 by the Minister of Railways, Sri D.V. Sadananda Gaura, the initiative aimed to connect major pilgrimage destinations across India through themed circuits such as Devi, Jyotirling, Jain, Christian, Muslim, or Sufi, Sikh, Buddhist, and famous temple circuits. The IRCTC, which is a public sector undertaking of the Ministry of Railways, was entrusted with operating these services. The 6 packages, which are Sukhamangalam Yatra, Dham Special with Dakshin Darshan, which is to travel via Lucknow and Jaipur, the Shikharji Circuit Yatra, Jyotirling Yatra, and Takht Parikrama. It marks the first phase of this initiative with plans to introduce additional pilgrimage circuit trains in line with budget commitments. This campaign also reinforces a sense of cultural pride and national belonging by encouraging citizens to explore sacred destinations across regions and religions. It fosters greater appreciation of India's pluralistic heritage and strengthens the ethos of unity in diversity. The budget 2026 further amplifies efforts allocating for 15 archaeological sites like Lothal and Rakhi Garhi into experiential hubs, plus adding Buddhist circuits across northeastern states from Arunachal Pradesh to Tripura. The Government of India has identified 19 iconic tourist sites for comprehensive development, many of which hold deep religious significance. Sites such as Kedarnath, Puri Jagannath, and Varanasi have been prioritized for large-scale redevelopment projects. These initiatives aim to balance modern infrastructure with heritage conservation, ensuring that sacred sites can accommodate increasing pilgrim numbers without compromising their spiritual atmosphere. Projects such as Kashi Vishwanath Corridor and the Jagannath Corridor exemplify this approach. By improving access, decongesting temple precincts, and enhancing the surrounding and urban environment, these projects have transformed the pilgrim experiences while reinforcing the cultural prominence of these sacred cities. Under the Swadesh Darshan scheme, several major religious circuits have been developed, each reflecting a distinct spiritual tradition and historical narrative. The Buddhist circuit traces the life and teachings of Lord Buddha, covering key sites such as Bodh Gaya, Sarnath, Kushinagar, Rajgir, Vaishali, and Shrabashti with Lumbini in Nepal, forming an important transnational link. This circuit holds immense significance for international tourism, particularly from East and Southeast Asia, and has been developed with improved connectivity, interpretation centers, and spiritual facilities. The Ramayana circuit connects sites associated with the life of Lord Rama, including Ayodhya, Chitrakoot, Nasik, Hampi, Rameshwaram, and Bhadrachalam. The large-scale development of Ayodhya, centered around the Ram Janmabhoomi project, has transformed the city into a global pilgrimage destination supported by modern infrastructure and an upcoming international airport. The Krishna circuit focuses on locations linked to Lord Krishna's life and the Mahabharata, such as Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwarka, Kurukshetra, Nathwara, and Puri. Infrastructure upgrades in Mathura and Dwarka have significantly enhanced pilgrim facilities while preserving the cultural landscape. The Himalayan circuit encompasses sacred sites in the Himalayan region, including the Char Dham, which are Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gangotri, and Yamunotri, as well as Amarnath and Hemkund Sahib. Reconstruction efforts at Kedarnath and Badrinath, particularly after the 2013 floods, reflect a focus on disaster resilient infrastructure, ecotourism, and sustainable pilgrimage. The spiritual circuit brings together diverse religious traditions linking destinations such as Haridwar, Rishikesh, Varanasi, Amritsar, and Tirupati. Projects along the Gangas in Varanasi, including ghat development and river cruises, have reinforced the city's spiritual and cultural significance. The Shakti circuit centers on Devi worship, connecting sites such as Vaishno Devi, Kamakhya, Jwalaji, Kalighat, and Kanyakumari. Infrastructure development at Vaishno Devi and Kamakhya under the Prasad scheme has improved accessibility while respecting the sanctity of these powerful spaces. Several individual sites exemplify the impact of government initiatives. The Kashi Vishwanath corridor has transformed Varanasi by creating seamless access between the temple and the Ganges, revitalizing surrounding neighborhoods and enhancing the spiritual ambience of the city. Similarly, the redevelopment of Kedarnath and Badrinath has focused on eco-friendly construction, improving trekking routes and disaster preparedness. At Amritsar's Golden Temple, enhanced amenities and visitor centers have strengthened its role as a global Sikh pilgrimage destination. Tirupati Balaji has seen improvements in queue management, accommodation, and pilgrim services, while Rameshwaram, Puri, and Ajmer Sharif Dargah have benefited from improved connectivity, conservation, and visitor facilities. Religious tourism contributes significantly to local and national economies. Pilgrimage destinations support a wide range of economic activities, including hospitality, transport, handicrafts, flower markets, and ritual services. Schemes like Swadesh Darshan have generated employment in construction, tourism management, and cultural preservation, providing livelihoods for local communities. Beyond economics, religious tourism plays a vital role in cultural preservation by revitalizing temples, rituals, festivals, and traditional practices. It ensures the transmission of intangible heritage across generations. Moreover, travel across diverse religious sites promotes cultural exchange and reinforces India's secular and pluralistic ethos. In terms of the future development and the emerging trends in terms of heritage corridors and circuits, there are upcoming projects such as the Char Dham all-weather road project, the Kashi Vishwanath corridor phase 2, and large-scale infrastructure development in Ayodhya, which signals the continued prioritization of religious tourism. These initiatives aim to ensure year-round accessibility, enhance pilgrims' safety, and accommodate growing visitor numbers while maintaining cultural integrity. In the end, we can summarize that India's temples, tirthas, and sacred landscapes are far more than tourist attractions. They are living repositories of faith, history, and cultural identity. Through initiatives such as Swadesh Darshan, Prasad, and Dekho Apna Desh, the government of India has undertaken a transformative effort to modernize religious tourism while preserving its spiritual essence. By developing thematic circuits, rejuvenating pilgrimage centers, and promoting inclusive domestic travel, these schemes have strengthened India's cultural economy and reinforced national unity. A pilgrimage in contemporary India is no longer merely a journey across physical spaces, it is an immersive encounter with history, heritage, and belief. As religious tourism continues to evolve, it holds immense potential not only for economic growth but also for deepening cultural understanding and sustaining the soul of India's civilizational heritage. Thank you very much.